All right, so let me check it to make sure everything looks good. And then I'll sit down. Hey, welcome. This is episode 30.
Yeah, man. That's crazy.
Behind the Tool Belt with TC Bagger Construction. So we got all kind of stuff going on. There's a lot going on, and obviously we're going to talk about these wicked storms. But you guys are growing a lot. You're looking for the estimators. You're looking for salespeople.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure the picture looks good and make sure we all fit in there. Hey, everyone. It's good to see you. Behind the Tool Belt, episode 30. Wow. Time flies when you're having this much fun.
It does fly.
I mean, amazing. So, good to see everyone. If you could drop your town in the comments, that would be appreciated. That's how we connect. When you share this, if you drop a 9, it just lets us give a salute to you for sharing it out. So we appreciate it. Chris, the 9 House, good to see you.
What's up, Man Cheese?
Man Cheese, good
You're
to see you, buddy.
awesome, Man Cheese. Backstep Bandits.
Right.
Broken. You guys are awesome. Everything you guys do up there. You know I'm not going to say that. That was just an added. But appreciate everything you do up in Dover at the 9 House, man. The Backstep Bandits, appreciate it, man. You guys climb those mountains. You guys save a lot of people, help a lot of people. Listen, one thing is we might be doing a show for some volunteer fire departments because of this COVID-19, their fundraising is down. So please give to your local, whether it's your ambulance or your fire. If they're volunteer, they need your help. Mm-hmm. If you want them to respond, you should help out and donate if you can, because they're down on chicken barbecues and the things they do to raise money. And so share this out. Mackenzie, good to see you.
Mackenzie, good to see you.
Share this. Start a watch party. Drop your town. We're going to talk about storm damage. TC Bagger Construction is hiring sales professionals. If you're that person, you might have someone on your list. Look, unemployment is at the highest rate. People need jobs. There's opportunities out there. So when you share this, you're helping your friends and they're helping their families. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, we're in this together and we're going to come through this together. So let's help out by sharing this, starting a watch party, drop in your town. We got some exciting stuff coming up tonight, huh?
Yes, sir.
Storm damage. I don't realize how one branch, and I told Christy, I said, when they were doing our trees, the branches look so little up in the air. Mm-hmm. And then you come down and you're like, where did all this tree come from?
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I said, but that little branch just heading down with gravity can really put a hinder on your roof, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and what does it do when it hits it and it puts a nick in it? It just looks like a little nick, but it's more than just a nick, right?
Yeah, well, it knocks the granules off. It knocks the granules off. It can put a hole in it. It can put a tear in it. We have a couple pictures. I threw together real quick, before we came here tonight. Just, there's a lot of storm damage that you can see from the ground, and there's a lot of storm damage you can't see from the ground.
Yeah.
So if anyone is, if they've experienced a recent storm, and they're uncertain if they have any damage, don't hesitate to give us a call. We'll come out and give you a free inspection, free report of your roof. We'll share the photos with you. We can do a video of your roof, show you everything that's going on up there, and maybe share some maintenance tips with them and what they should do and things they should look forward to doing in the near future.
Right. On
their roof. So, yeah.
Chris Markey to the T. What's up, man?
Hey,
Jared
Chris.
Higgins, Kimberly Smith.
Kimberly.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in.
Kim,
please share.
Markey. Markey, you're sexy.
Just to add to that, though, you may not always get, drastic storm damage when you do get storm damage, but a lot of times, man, it compounds. Yeah. If you don't do anything about it right away, those issues turn into bigger issues. And then, like I said, it compounds and you end up spending a lot of money where you could just start with just a shingle fix. You know what I mean? Just replace one tab.
Right.
So there's numerous things that you have to look for, that you should look for. We'll get into a couple of those things. Yeah. But some of these things, you may not necessarily be able to see from the ground. Mm-hmm. So it's important to, when you do get people or a roofing company out there, it's someone that you trust and that will explain the stuff and go over the pictures and all that kinds of stuff.
Well, a lot of those pictures that we have there, I could have threw hundreds of pictures on there. I would say 25% of them, I would say they didn't even know that they had storm damage.
Right.
And it was tough to tell from just pulling in the parking lot until I actually got up onto the roof. then I could identify that they actually had storm damage, whether it be hail or just a lifted tab. I would walk up, you would see just the tab lifted just a little bit. I would go to lift that tab and a whole section was lifting up. Because what happens is the wind pulls it up and it'll lay right back down. You don't even know it.
Right.
And then there's multiple
Oh,
areas.
so water goes right up underneath there when it lifts it up.
Right, but your nails are no longer nailed. Your shingles are no longer nailed down.
Yeah, obviously if they're lifting up.
Yeah.
Well, people that aren't roofers don't know that stuff. Like
Right.
they have no idea.
Exactly.
You see one shingle kind of laying like that, and you're like, "Big deal, it's one shingle."
Right.
But it is. Right.
It is
Because
a big
all
deal.
of them, it's like dominoes.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yes.
exactly what I was thinking. It's like the domino effect.
Right. Right.
Yep.
But you guys do repairs and installation, so if you know, it's not like you guys are coming out and trying to get people to do new roofs. You're doing the right thing, and you guys have always done the right thing. That's what's great about you guys. I mean,
Yeah.
we were talking about that today about jobs and the way people deal with their customers.
Yeah.
You know, and you have developments that come to you because of the way you deal with one house,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny you say that. I got a phone call tonight from a builder in Virginia
Hi, Christy.
who had just bought a piece of land that had existing homes already on it. There's still an older section that they're redeveloping, and he said he had 15 sales. He says, "When are you coming down to take a look at this?" He said, "Because all of the existing homes all need new roofs." So he trusts
Wow.
us enough not only to do their new construction, but
But
to
to
go in
replace.
and be the neighborhood roofer.
Yeah.
Your neighborhood
And
contractor.
I said that the other day, the neighborhood contractor,
Yeah.
TC. But if you think about it, you guys are doing the work. You're not just saying you're that. You know, you guys are on social media, right there. Like, you know, that takes, you have to be a certain type of way to do it. Because a lot of people are scared to, right? Do I want to be on there? Do I want to show it? And you're just like, let's do it. I mean, if there's something that exposes us to get better, we want to
Yeah.
get better.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're not afraid of that exposure.
Right.
It's-
That's how you
yeah,
and
look
that's-
at it.
I've been thinking a
admirable.
lot like that along the lines of, you know, not just business experiences and jobs that may have went south. Do you not
Yeah.
learn from them? But think about how fortunate we are, and I'm going to get off topic here just a little bit. Okay, how fortunate are we to have gone through the recession, and now we're going through the COVID recession. I heard
Unprecedented.
somebody call it the COVID recession today.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to use that terminology. How fortunate
creep.
are we to be able to go through something like this, and how much we have learned?
Right.
Like, instead of looking at it in such a negative way,
Yes.
but the positive that we can take from this, like how
You
much
strengthen the ship.
Right? How much have we learned from this so far?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like over in the past 4 months, I have learned so much on whether it be working remotely,
Yeah, how about that?
from marketing to being able to give someone an estimate, you know, remotely, virtually, E360, huge thing. We'll do a whole episode on this thing. I got someone's house that I can do before pictures, how they designed their house, how they wanted it to look, and then we'll do after pictures. It's right up the street from our shop. It'll be an awesome episode. But because of that, I dabbled with like Eagle View and stuff like that, but I never necessarily dabbled with or worked with you know, like this program. I don't even know if there's any other programs out there like E360 right now.
Right.
But that's changed. That's gonna change the industry.
Well, you always get into something you don't know, and you figure out. It's no different than, you know, when you got into your passion of boating, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, just knowing you figured it out, just
Yeah.
like everything else.
Right.
No one says, I ran a business at this level, let me go backwards and start it.
Right.
Right.
But you just keep moving forward, your culture,
Yeah.
everybody in it. I mean, you know, a
Absolutely.
lot of people say they can't wait to work at TC Backer Construction or Horizon Lawns.
Yeah.
Well, that's the difference between, you know, person A and person B. You know, you can sit there and constantly do what you're comfortable with and what you know, or you can step into the unknown and, you know, grow. That's how you grow.
Yeah.
Those are
Well, you're a
things
great
that make
young
you
leader.
uncomfortable and
You
all
are,
that stuff.
and shout out to you, Ty, for
I
bringing in
appreciate
Chris.
that, man.
You know, it's like you're modeling the next generation of leader
Yeah.
for TC Backer. I mean, you do. You're amazing. You know, you're an inspiration to your generation.
Yeah.
You
Thank
know?
you.
appreciate
Thank
that.
you very much.
And the energy and the ideas you're open to. I mean, really, and you get to show people this is what this company is all
Yeah.
about.
It is.
So-
It is about the culture. It's about bettering people's lives. You know, not just the people that we work with, but the people that we work for. You know, the one of our missions 2 weeks ago is people hire us for convenience, not for us to be an inconvenience to them. So
wow.
that for that week, and since that week, we've been trying to go over and beyond. Not that we haven't before, but like we're really focused on how can we relieve some of the stress from this person. We know a gentleman who's got I don't know how many homes,
18 homes going on right now.
under construction right now, and it's like, okay, so what can we do to help this situation? First and foremost, let's answer the phone when he calls us.
Right.
Hey Joe, what can we do to help you today?
Wow.
What's going
Yeah.
on? What's happening? What can we do? I can't stand it when someone doesn't answer the phone.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Even if it's just a simply, hey, I'm busy, can I call you back?
Yes.
Or something. Acknowledge the phone call, and you would
Or-
not believe how big
Yeah.
of an issue that is in the construction industry.
Absolutely.
I think it's anywhere. But just the fact of what you're saying, you sit back and reflect.
Mm-hmm.
So just that process is the process to lead to getting better.
Yes.
Right. Absolutely.
Not saying, because there's companies, we've dealt with them, and they're like, we've been doing it 30 years. Don't you hate to hear that?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, that's great if you have experience, but are you open to solving my problem?
Yeah.
Right. Like, as a homeowner, I
Yeah.
don't care about all your
Right.
other jobs.
Right.
And
Right.
you guys look at it that way. The
Yeah.
ladies of TC Backer, the whole culture of
Yeah.
TC Backer.
Yeah.
And that's
It's
what's
all
awesome.
about the solution, man. We know we can identify the problems quickly. If there is an issue, we identify it quickly, and then the next step is the solution.
Right.
What is the solution to fix this? What is the solution so it doesn't happen again?
Amen.
You know what I mean? And that it's if you're not making mistakes or if things aren't going wrong, you can't grow. I mean, if everything was just okay, how would we evolve? How would we grow? How would we be better?
That's a great point.
How could we better ourselves?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that's the way that we look at things. There's going to be problems. I mean, there's so many moving parts. There's so many different things that we have to rely on. One of the hiccups we're dealing with right now is that we can't get the materials that we need on time.
Right.
Siding, Chuck tonight told me he ordered siding, I don't know, either earlier this week or late last week. We're not going to see it till at least September 8th. At least. Siding, regular stock, in stock siding, not special order siding. We're talking about in stock siding. Any siding that I could just go to the store any day of the week, 7 days a week to pick up, we can't get till September 8th.
And I think you communicating that and people just becoming more understanding. I
Right.
think people have become a lot more understanding
Right.
because of the change of everything has changed.
Well, and see, the thing is too about that is I think our reach. Now that's where we typically get it from, and this is what the solution is to this is okay. We have about at least a dozen other branches that we can reach out to. Can we? Because it seems like there's these 3 jobs that have to be done by a certain date. So I told Chuck, I said, in the morning, give me the addresses, give me the colors that you need, and we'll use our network. Mm-hmm. Even if we got to pull it out of Jersey, we'll pull it out of Jersey.
I got you. Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's what we try. So, okay, we identified the problem.
Yeah.
The problem is they stopped making siding at some point in time throughout the COVID thing. Okay, now there's a huge influx. Everybody wants siding. Okay, they couldn't keep up. Manufacturers couldn't keep up. Distributors stopped ordering it, so they didn't have anything on the floor because they didn't want the inventory or the overhead because they didn't know if they were going to have to close.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like everyone else. Now there's this huge boom right now. Okay, everyone wants something done to their home. Everyone wants a home built. Yada yada yada. Okay, so we have identified that. So we know other people, same company, sister company, brother company, father company, mother companies that are all in the network. So we can reach out to these other people, and that's we'll go on a mission tomorrow, and that's what we do. We'll help who we can, and the other people we're just gonna have to be transparent with them and be like, look, we can't get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the plan B would be, okay, but I can get this brand of siding. It is a clay tone color. Will this work for you?
Yeah.
I mean, there are options. We're not going to just stay stuck in the problem. And I didn't mean to go off on a tangent, but,
No, but that's
I was
important.
using that as an example. Like, it's not the end of the world. We'll figure this out.
Right. Absolutely.
It
doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to have the absolute answer that we want it to be. Obviously, we want to get the siding tomorrow and put it on tomorrow,
Right.
but unfortunately, manufacturers are running at 50, 25% in some places.
Todd, good to
Just
see you,
can't keep
man.
up. Just
Yeah.
can't keep up with the demand.
Yeah, there's a lot of demand right now.
Please share this out, Todd. Good to see you. Hope your
Yeah,
truck
Todd,
is
we're-
doing better, man.
Yeah, Tom, we're doing good tonight, man.
God bless everyone. Start a watch party. It's so good to see everyone.
Yep.
TC Backer Construction's hiring. So if you know someone that has that charismatic personality, you just like, dude, people like talking to you. Jana, good to see you. Lewis, good to see
Hey,
you.
Jana.
You might not even know you're good at communicating with people, or if you are, maybe you're in an industry. There's a lot of restaurants. Just White Rose unfortunately closed down. White Rose, Bridgewater, White Rose, Valencia, and Rockfish. So anyone that's a waitress or a waiter, you're perfect for sales. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's where we've always found a lot of
Yeah.
great people
Yeah,
because
anyone
they
in the
understand, they
hospitality
listen
business.
to people. The
Yeah.
biggest thing about sales is listening to people and then
Absolutely.
solving their problem.
Yeah.
They can teach you the ins and outs of this,
Yeah.
but they can't teach you to go to work
No,
at the end of the day.
you gotta
Right.
have it.
And so there's a great opportunity there for sales professionals. They're out of Dover. Contact them. If you can't get a hold of them and reach them, you're probably not a good fit. I'm just telling you nowadays. If you
Yeah.
can't, if someone says I want to reach you and you're going to work with us, and you can't Google me and find me,
Yeah.
then we're probably not a good fit. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying you need
Yeah.
to have that resource
Right.
Exactly.
to be
Absolutely.
resourceful.
That's one of the it's to figure it out thing.
Yeah.
Not saying that you need to figure it out to get in contact with us.
But you should be able to because
But
this is their page.
it's definitely not hard. We have numerous ways to get in contact
Yeah,
with
man.
us. We're out in the open. We're
Yeah.
on social media all
Yeah.
over.
How
the
about your
place.
estimator? That's someone that's good with numbers, good
Yeah.
with programs that
Yeah.
are good
Yep.
with numbers, making
Yeah.
sure that if a job is 1,000 square feet, that someone's not paying you for 800, or
Yeah.
they're not delivering you 2,000 square feet, and the job is 1,000. Like
Yeah.
that everything equals out.
Yeah.
With the natural attrition that a job should have,
Yeah.
whatever that's 5%
That's
or
a
10%.
big part, man. It's a big part of what
Yeah.
we got going on. There's, like Ty said earlier, there's so many moving parts in what we do and all the different aspects of our company. That person is so vital to making sure that
Tyler.
we're profitable, so we can continue to grow. I
Yeah.
mean, if we're not going to be profitable and we're bleeding money out places, we're not going to be able to grow.
You got to be a numbers junkie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A numbers
Absolutely.
jockey. You got to be able to make
What's up,
sure
Tyler?
that plans. You got to be able to read blueprints, go to scale, figure it out. You have to be someone that can figure stuff out. Yes, in the beginning you ask your questions,
Yes.
and yes, but at the end of the day, people bring people in to make things go easier, not to
Yeah.
give more work. Like at
Right,
the end of the
and-
day, Jim, good to see you.
Hey, Jim, good to see you, buddy.
Thank you. Happy 30th.
Brian Clevenger, thanks for joining us tonight, buddy.
Jerry
Thanks for
Runkle, what's
support.
up, buddy?
So, like we were talking about, with the estimating
Yeah.
position, okay? So, there is time for training there. I mean, we've all tried to do the estimating thing. Bob does some of it, Chris does some of it, Brandon does some of it. I used to do a lot of it. So right now everybody's definitely hybrid, but everyone's trying to share this responsibility when we just need one sole person that's all they focus on is like the purchase orders when they come in, double check their quantities to your takeoff, match it up. If it doesn't match up, make phone calls, send emails, yada, yada, yada. So there's time there, you know what I mean? So we're not expecting someone to come in, throw them a blueprint and a purchase order, check it, and then we need to rely on their numbers to be accurate right away.
Right.
Like we don't need that, like there's time, so for someone to come in, but having said that, and I thought about this on the way in here, it's like we think we have a prospect for the estimating position,
Yeah, man.
but we're not going to unveil that yet.
Right,
Because I haven't even talked to that person yet. But if they're watching tonight, they may know who I'm talking
And
about.
someone
not in
always,
here yet. I've
someone
been
always
watching.
is someone's
Okay.
backup.
Okay.
I treat my job. I don't get a paycheck, so every day someone is my backup.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
you can find insurance agents anywhere. Probably 10 right in your 1 mile.
Right.
Right. So
Yeah.
and contractors.
Right.
So just do what you do good, but we're all replacements. So TC Backer Construction is a culture that's always looking for the best.
Right.
And if you're there, understand that the best is looking to come. Like that's just making the best for the client. That's making the best for the community.
Yeah.
Right? That means don't get off your game. Don't get comfortable.
Yeah.
No.
You know what I mean?
You're not going to be comfortable. I mean, you'll be comfortable working here, but
Yeah.
You'll be satisfied.
You'll be on your toes.
It'll be.
We're real
it'll be,
fast-paced.
I don't want to say it's going to be a challenge, but it's, sometimes when you work at a place, it just gets boring. There's no more challenge.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Monotonous.
Like if you're a kind of person that enjoys the challenge of the experience of learning, being a part of and a part of the camaraderie and the fellowship and the culture and making difference. If you want to make a difference, and if you're at a dead end job or you're tired of what you're doing and you feel like you're not going to go anywhere and you're not accomplishing anything, maybe come out and fill an application out and do an interview with us. I mean, whether it be, a service tech and an estimator or a salesperson, if like Shane was saying, if you're in the hospitality industry and you recently lost your job, you might not know it, but you could be a really good salesperson.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're good with people in the public, the general public, and enjoy talking, and have plenty of energy and a valid driver's license, I just thought I'd throw that in there. Come on out and talk to us. We have tools put together. We have kits put together for the shingles. We have E360 now. You don't even necessarily have to get up on the roof.
Yeah.
And if you're a person that can't get up on the roof, we just send a service tech with you. They go up, they measure the roof up for you, they'll take photos for you as you're walking around the house doing an E360. We've tried this, we've practiced this. Me and Lauren have tried, for those, because I know not everyone can get on a roof, but being the type of company that we are, I want someone on their roof to identify the issue. I don't want to just come out and put a roof on somebody's house. I don't want to just come out and sell a roof.
Yeah.
I want to fix what the problem was, what was the underlying issue, if there is an underlying issue, or did just simply a tree hit your house?
Right.
You know what I mean? Or did shingles blow off? Because improper ventilation, storm damage, multiple layers of shingles. There's so many reasons why your roof would go bad. Maybe it was replaced 15 years ago and the sheeting wasn't replaced then, and it was 3/8 inch or 1/4 inch plywood.
Yeah.
And then the ventilation was poor to begin with. I mean, that stuff starts to delaminate. Those are the issues we want to fix.
Right.
So I don't want to be that company that sits in your house for 4 hours and we're not leaving until you sign on down the line. Like, that's not us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not high-fiving at our weekly meeting that I got the cops called on me 3 times this week.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And there are companies out there. We're not like that.
Yeah.
We just simply want to change your life. We want everyone to live a happy, healthy, safe life. You know what I mean? If your roof is leaking, that can cause so many issues. One, let's think about how stressful that is.
Oh, absolutely.
Under stressful conditions already. Everyone's under some sort of stress right now. You know what I mean? With the unprecedented situation that we're in right now.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? That alone keeps me at a 25% stress.
Yeah, a lot of
limit.
people are
And
probably
now,
wondering,
from the
can I
second
get a
wake
loan
up-
to do this, right?
Right.
'Cause
I don't know about you, but one of the first things I do when I wake up is to make sure I feel okay.
Victor.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, I still do
100%,
that.
yeah.
Not as
Yeah.
bad as I was doing it months ago, but it's like I wake up and it's like trying to hold my breath for 20 seconds. Am I okay? You know what I mean? So right
Yes.
away, my stress level's already up there. Throw in the mix, my roof leaking now.
Right.
You know what
The
I'm saying?
health factors
Yeah,
of
the
it.
stains on the ceiling. Or
Yeah.
let's talk about clogged gutters. You know what I mean? With all this rain that we've been having.
Right.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the wind blowing all the leaves off. You
Yeah.
see our pool was full all
Right.
the time, every storm.
You know what I mean? And just adding that stress, like you have no way to get up on your roof to see what it is. Give us a call.
Most
Right.
people
If
aren't
it's a
getting on the
shingle
roof.
tab that blew off and a nail head's exposed, we'll change the one shingle.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
have a problem with that.
And then you
You know
know
what I
who your
mean?
hometown contractor is.
Right.
At the end of the
And
day.
not every roof that we're going to go on is going to have underlying issues.
Exactly.
Maybe you just need a new roof, but how great would it be to get a report that tells you why?
No, they checked
There's no
mine. They
underlying
didn't want to
issues.
Right.
replace
You know what I
it.
mean?
You
Yeah.
know.
Not just someone saying you're good, I can just put a roof on this, but let me tell you why you're good. You have this ventilation.
Exactly.
You got the proper baffles, you have the proper ridge vent,
Yep.
all that stuff put into a report. That's peace of mind.
Yep.
You know what I
Hey,
mean?
you guys checked mine.
We were at a house today that had soffit vent, had a ridge vent, but the sheeting was super soft. And I was like, what is going on here? I got down off the ladder, I walked around the side of the house, and I looked up, they had
Gable
gable
vent.
vents. Gable vents. The biggest myth out there.
Yeah.
Gable vents just, it doesn't allow the draw, the
Yeah,
exhaust.
The circulation.
The cir-
You're basically just getting rid of the hot air on the top of your roof.
They're
Yeah,
not
all
very
that, all that
big.
air that's down below in the bottom of your attic is
Yeah.
just
So
stagnant
you're
air.
not getting that, like your house has to breathe like your lungs. Think about your lungs for a minute. Your roof has to do the same thing, has to do the exact same thing. Well, when you have a cross breeze that's blowing in through your gable vent, well, that alleviates all of that exhaust that you may have. Which
That
then
makes sense.
basically keeps the hot air up there
Right.
the whole time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you guys do a free inspection. Rusty, good
Absolutely.
to see you. Vic, good to see you. Victory Security Solutions, good to see you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
good
everybody.
to see you, brother.
Please share this out.
Bob
Drop a
Stauffer in the
line.
house. What's up, Bob?
Start a watch party. They're hiring for multiple positions. So if you're interested, inquire. 321 Gutter Done right here on their Facebook page. Get a hold of them
Yeah, man.
and have a conversation.
Absolutely.
Chuck said he was self-employed for 30 years, scared as hell to make a change, but I will say it was the best decision I've ever made. Chuck,
Damn.
I must say that you were the best decision I ever made too. One of many best decisions, and
Yeah, man.
I don't want to say one of many or the best because obviously you see Chris Baker sitting here, Bob who's in here, Tyler that's in here, and whoever else is in here that's a part of the family. Are all part of some of the best decisions ever made. But thank God you made that decision, man. Thank you. I can't
Yeah,
say
man.
enough.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
All
can't
right.
say enough.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Figure
It's
this
good the
out.
phone's ringing, brother.
Yes, it is
That's
good.
a good problem.
That's
to
a
have.
good
It
problem
is.
to have, brother.
So we do reviews with our clients. So we appreciate everyone. We thank everyone for sharing. No Pete and the pickups. They got Chuck in the truck. So can we go through some of the pictures of the storm damage?
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
Sherman's
absolutely,
picking
man.
sheets. We did some work for him.
Absolutely.
He said you're working on giving me a praise right now on the ridge vent. Well, after the siding and windows are installed. Thanks for sharing, Chuck, and thanks for watching, and thanks for being a part of this tonight. Thank you.
And I just got a door put in.
Yeah, you just got
Awesome.
It's
It's
a
on
nice door,
video.
too, man.
Right.
Yeah, it
It's a
is.
nice
It's
door.
super nice.
Yeah. So this here is a picture of a tree that
Wow.
fell on this lady's house. It was such a big tree that it hit there. Actually, it was behind the house. I should have took a better picture. This is the front of the house.
Wow.
This tree was so big that it like missed the house, but hit the chimney. It was back here. If you can see back here, it was one of the trees back here, back in the backyard there, that actually fell, missed the house somehow. You can see the limbs and stuff.
Yeah.
But look at that.
Oh, wow.
Bang the chimney up.
Yeah, so it hit the chimney and then clipped the front of the roof right there. Now, could I have gone up there and said, well, you're going to need a whole entire roof? Yes, I could have found multiple things that may have not even been related to this particular storm, but maybe a storm that happened, who knows, 3 years ago, or maybe it was during installation, little scuffs, little scrapes that I could have blamed on tree limbs or hail damage from previous storms, whatever. But what we're going to do is we're going to give a price for repairing her roof, not replacing the whole entire roof.
Right.
She's going to submit that estimate to
So
our
you have
insurance
shingles
company.
that'll match that?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
when you go out there, I mean, I don't know,
Yeah.
you can tell what kind they are,
Yeah.
and you can tell if you can
absolutely.
pretty quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, absolutely.
nice.
Yeah.
So, but there's sometimes you go out and you might not be able to match, right? I mean, it doesn't happen much, or is there?
It does happen. It does happen. Seeing this is a thing. If your roof was installed 10 years or more ago, longer ago, the shingle sizes aren't the same anymore.
Why they made them bigger?
Yeah, they went from what was called English to metric. So
Okay.
shingles were a smaller shingle on like a more of like a 36-inch, not like a 36 and 7/8. You know what I mean? Like they're using like a metric. Help me out here a little bit, Chris. A metric form of measuring.
Okay.
Yeah. Instead of inches, they're using centimeters and
Yes.
stuff. It's basically like the European.
Yes, why
Okay.
they weren't that way, I'm not sure, because
anyway, so
they're
they've been
made
doing it
in
for
North
10
America.
years.
All shingles except IKO come out of Canada. So anyhow, at least they're on this side of the globe.
Yeah,
Why they were
yeah.
using the metric system, I'm not sure why, but
Yeah.
that's what they did. And see, the other thing is too, step flashing was a different size back then too. You know what I mean? So some people are like, well, like insurance companies might not want to pay for the step flashing. Well, when we go out there and we realize that your roof is 12 years old, well, the shingles aren't going to fit the existing step flashing. So then we may have to remove some siding, expose the step flashing, remove the step flashing, install the shingles, install new step flashing, then reinstall the siding. Well, a lot of times insurance companies don't want to pay for that stuff until you can prove that to them.
Right.
Not
So
that they
you
don't know
educate
that.
them,
They're
I'm sorry.
they're educated, but you got to play the game
Oh, okay.
sometimes.
So you have to let
And
them
see,
know.
and that's where 18, 17 years of experience of dealing with insurance companies come into play. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Yeah,
we
exactly.
can do that for homeowners.
To take all that out.
You have to take all that out.
Nice.
They don't even have to deal with that.
Hometown contractors, TC Backer
Right.
Construction.
But then again, on a situation like this, it's like, could I have found other things wrong with the roof to justify?
Absolutely. Hi, Cindy.
I could have, but I just,
Hi,
I
Steve.
didn't feel right. So you got a shingle tab missing there. The drip edge got bent, and there's a little dent in the gutter out front.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's all there was to it.
But if it wasn't
and
taken
the-
care of,
the
that could
chimney
lead to a
cap
new
was
roof.
bent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But not taking care of that could be a new roof.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, and if you look,
The wind will catch those tabs that are sticking up, start
so
pulling
until the
tabs.
insurance company, oh, I didn't send the picture, sorry. There's a tarp over it right now.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah, yeah,
all right.
yeah.
And the only other issue that you could come across matching the shingles, I just want to touch back on that a little bit. Every so often, shingle manufacturers are going to change up their granules and change up colors. You know,
Right.
if you have like an extravagant color that isn't like a normal stocked color, if it's a special order or something like that, you know, they may discontinue that, and it may be hard to get something like that.
Well,
But
yeah,
9 times out of 10, we can find something pretty similar
yeah.
to match that up.
I
So-
want to touch on something real quick because what you just said. I was just notified that GAF is only gonna make 5 color shingles right now.
Really?
Tamco 2 colored shingles right now.
Weatherwood and rustic black, probably.
And Certainty's down to 4 colors until the fall.
Wow.
Yeah, so having said what you just said, special order stuff, like the American Harvest and some other higher end shingles that GAF does, can't get any of them, doesn't matter what color they are, unless the distributor has them on the floor.
Right.
Wow.
Hopefully they'll have enough
Yeah.
for whatever particular job.
Right, right.
But they're going with, obviously, charcoal, weatherwood, barkwood, shakewood, and there's one more. There's actually 5. They're gonna stick with 5. I can't think of the name of, but anyhow, just throwing that out there. You know, that way, you know, and that's the other thing too. So we had to inform our salespeople, like, look, these are the 5 options we're offering right now.
Yeah.
That's all we can get till at least the fall.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it is what it is. At least
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
information's getting out to them.
Yeah,
You know.
right.
Absolutely.
Well, and it keeps it simple. Really, if you think about it, it's going to keep it simple. And as long as they're still making shingles,
Yeah.
you know, especially for new construction homes, and predominantly on new construction homes, it's weatherwood and it's charcoal. So I think that's why they were thinking that. So they threw 3 more in the mix just to kind of give retail stuff
Right.
a couple few options, which are the most predominant colored shingles that most people would use.
Right.
Especially at times like now. You know what I mean? If you need a roof and you have to pay for a roof, nobody wants to pay for a roof.
We've had some storms.
Yeah,
I mean,
you know,
crazy.
and at least you got 5 colors to choose from. I mean, they're not the extravagant colors like on the American Harvest and stuff like that. But I think if anyone needs a roof right now, not that someone wouldn't have the money to put a new roof on, but nobody wants to pay for a roof on their house, let alone looking at this point in time for a higher end shingle.
Right.
I think is what they're thinking.
But is there financing if someone has
There
to get
is
one?
financing
Absolutely.
available.
So what are their options?
There's all kinds of options. You got 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, same as cash. No payments for 6, 12, or 18 months. We have a 5-year plan, a 7, and a 10.
Okay.
And all flexible, you know, interest rates are good. And now we're actually going to be included into what's called smart money, which then gives us 3 to 4 more options to provide people. Like when you go and buy a car and like they rip through your credit, okay, with like 15 different banks, it's kind of like that, but they don't rip through your credit. They do a soft credit
Okay.
check. Okay, so your credit won't actually be dinged until you sign. So what this Smart Money app is going to do for us is it gives us 4 more banks on top of the bank that we have to like if you think like, man, I got a 570 credit score. Okay, cool. We'll run it through all 5 banks. You know what I'm saying? And then if that doesn't work, I've had a husband and wife. We did the husbands, then we did the wife. The wife had like a 580 score. One of the banks picked her up. And again, they're not ripping through your credit score until
Right.
you sign and which bank decides to pick you up. But I feel at times like now, the more banks and more flexibility
More
that we have,
options.
the more options that we can help someone out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Sure.
so that's pretty cool. So that's
Yeah.
through GAF too. GAF offered that to us. It's called Smart Money.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
GAF is awesome.
GAF's
They
doing a
are
lot. I
awesome.
know they're proposing
They've
some
really
stuff with
stepped up.
Congress right now
Yeah.
to help homeowners get a
I-
tax
I
break.
read that.
And so GAF is looking out for homeowners to be able to help you with a 30%
Christine.
tax break.
No purple shingles on my roof. No.
No,
Not
no
till
purple
after
shingles right
pandemic.
now, Jocelyn.
But I mean, that's what you should know about an industry that's looking out for the consumers, the contractors, everybody.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to Congress with lobbyists to say we need to stimulate the the economy by letting people renovate their homes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, that's,
30%.
that's huge.
Yeah. So hopefully that goes through. Christy shared that with me. I actually was listening to it when Chris walked in the office today.
That's what you were looking at.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it was pretty good stuff there. It was the guy. It was actually the company that owns GAF Shingles. This is the other thing I learned today too, and I just thought I would throw this out there. Do you know 1 out of every 3 roofs has GAF shingles installed on it?
Wow.
That GAF is the largest shingling manufacturer in North America.
I believe that, man.
1 out of 3 roofs has a GAF roof on it.
That's a
Wow.
lot of
That's
roofs,
pretty
man.
awesome.
Dude,
That's a
that's
lot of roofs.
killer.
That's
killer.
experience.
No other shingle manufacturer can say that. That means the other 2 roofs are either IKO, Certainty,
Tamco. There's some
yeah,
Owens and Corning.
Atlas,
There's so
yeah,
many different.
there's so many
to split
different-
those other 2 up.
yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, that's impressive, man.
yeah.
That's a lot. That's a
They've
lot
been
of roofs.
around for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I know
awesome.
we do a lot of them every year for GAF.
Now that looks like
Absolutely.
nothing.
right from the ground, you'd never see that,
Right. No, even if I saw it, I'd be like, okay.
Right.
right? Well, that's a hole in the roof.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a hole in the roof. right
Oh, okay.
there. Yeah,
Wow. So you really got to be looking for it because I didn't even see that till you pointed. I thought it just looked like someone took a marker actually and just.
no, that's granule loss.
Okay.
So after a storm, if you notice there's a lot of granules at the end of your downspout, at the end of the elbow right there,
Yeah.
that should be one of your first warning signs that you may need to have someone come out and take a look at your roof.
Yeah.
Granule loss.
Yep.
And you know what that is, right? The granules that come off the
Oh,
shingles.
gutters.
Right,
And I see 'em,
right,
yeah.
and it gets stuck in your gutters too.
Yeah,
But it will
yep.
also wash out and come down the downspout and see it in your yard.
Yeah.
Especially after a storm.
Not good.
That's not good.
No.
No, that probably
not good.
means we had hail.
Okay.
Yeah, that's years off your life expectancy of your roof.
Absolutely.
All them granules. Not to
Absolutely.
mention, if you have a pile of granules in your gutter, you know it'll cause issues with gutter flow, and you know your gutter won't be able to hold as much water, and
Exactly.
so on and so forth. It
Yeah.
just compounds and you know it's like
It
a
does.
domino effect.
Right.
Man.
It adds weight.
Was
to
there
it
a
in
right
the
way and a
wintertime.
wrong way to put up gutters? I mean, you know,
Absolutely.
I know people
Absolutely.
have put them up, and then some people have put them up so they drain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I don't know if there's a right way or wrong way, but
There's
I've seen
absolutely a right way.
There's a
and wrong
lot
way.
of things to take into consideration. You know what I mean? Like, you don't obviously want your gutters to drain towards your driveway and have your outlet, dispense the water onto your driveway. People say, why? They, especially this time of year, thinking, well, what's the big deal? Well, let's wait till, February, December, January, February, and how
okay.
much ice your driveway's covered.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? People
That's
don't
dangerous.
think about stuff like
Yeah,
that.
right.
And that's just having the experience of doing it. It's like, no, that's not such a good idea. Or let's say the one side of your home has a hill that comes towards your house. Well, you wouldn't want to, dispense your water on that side of the home because then it comes off your roof, goes away from the house like it's supposed to, but then the hill's allowing it to go back towards your
Yeah.
home.
right down to your basement.
You're right, exactly. So there's a
wow.
lot of things to consider, and sometimes you have both those situations on the same home.
Sure.
And that's where the education and explaining to the customer, like, okay, like, do you want your basement to flood, or do you want to run the risk that there may be ice in your driveway?
Yeah.
Right.
What's the lesser of two evils?
Right.
Because sometimes there's just no way around it
Absolutely.
at all. You know what I mean? And I've wrapped my head around it so hard. It's like, well, we could run a downspout 50 feet across the side of your house. That's going to probably fill up with ice and blow apart anyhow at some
Right.
point in time.
Right.
Or we can just simply, let it here and just be cautious in the wintertime.
Yep.
So
A lot to think about.
there is
There
a
is.
lot to think
There is.
about.
So So how'd you find this out? How'd you get on this roof?
Just, I didn't even see it till I got on the
okay.
roof.
Yeah.
And then there's more obvious things like this.
You know, I see that where people just think I have a couple shingles off and they let it go. Is that a problem?
That's not good. Because what you can see,
Yeah.
know that there's at least 25% more that you can't see that the nails have pulled through.
Right.
Wow.
At least. I've gone up there and seen whole sections of roofs that the glue strips worked great, but that's the only thing holding those shingles on there.
Yep. They're still sealed.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
And I mean, your roof covers the whole house up, so it's pretty serious business.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It is.
It's
Kevin,
one of the
good to
most
see you.
critical
Please
parts.
share.
It might be the most critical part on your home.
My opinion, it is. That's protecting most people's largest investment.
It sounds like the roof is the lead singer in the band.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Without the roof, there's no one else playing the band. I mean, you can have, I mean, really,
Yeah,
because everything else goes to rot.
absolutely.
I mean, so it's really important. And when you're talking about your home, you make a mortgage payment. Why would you not protect it with options?
Right.
And you have financing options.
Your roof, your insulation in your attic. Okay, so it's your roof, ventilation, and insulation. Those are probably, in my opinion, and I don't think I'm being biased. Maybe I'm blinded to the fact because I'm a roofer. But I'm thinking your roof, okay, ventilation and insulation. Okay, so your roof protects your home. Then your biggest area of loss of energy is through your attic, then through your roof. Okay, so if you have poor insulation in your attic, then you don't have the correct ventilation, then you're not going to get the full life expectancy out of your roof. Your roof is what protects your house. That's it in a nutshell. Then, second thing would be your windows. You know, but then, okay, so you got what? Water? What is it? Water, air conditioning, HVAC, and your roof are like the three most important things. But I'm thinking as far as like energy wise and protecting your home first and foremost is your roof. Then you got to stay warm, you got to stay cool, and then you need water. So,
Yeah. Absolutely. I'll have to agree with that. Maybe I'm biased too, but
Yeah.
me personally, I would much rather deal with being cold in my house than being wet in my house.
Right?
Yeah.
You can get a blanket,
I can put a
sleep in
blanket on,
sweatpants.
but
Right.
yeah, you don't want to be
Right.
taking buckets out your basement.
No,
So,
exactly.
but that also, you know, that also combines with the gutter there too. You know, if you don't have your gutters draining properly away from your house, that's going to end up making your basement flood. We got a gutter pro in here right now, Colin. What's
Yeah,
up,
he
buddy?
is. Good to see you, Colin.
Colin, good to see you.
He can attest to how important it is to make sure that you're putting the right pitch on your gutters, putting your downspouts in the right locations. All that stuff is important, and there is some thought that goes into that. You know,
Right.
trying to figure out, you know, how much of your roof drains off of what sides. You know, is your gutter going to be big enough to handle all the water draining off your roof?
Do you need to add a downspout?
Right,
to the
right.
other end?
Especially with all the architecture on these new homes, there's so many different roofs. You know, draining onto other roofs, draining onto other roofs.
Right.
You know, you could end up having a 6-foot piece of gutter that's getting 6 different roofs
Yeah, man.
going onto
Yeah.
it. So you know, you might need a
Backsplashes,
6-inch.
water diverters.
Right.
You know, there's just much more that goes into it than just gutter.
Right.
There is some sort, I don't want to call it science, but theory behind the madness of it
Yeah.
all. You know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Making
Yeah,
sure the
and
water
Colin
flows.
is a great, you know, he can, you know, earlier when I was saying trying to get my head wrapped around, okay, like which end are we gonna put the downspout on, or you know, he does that every day. Like he can go out and figure it out. Like he can literally pull in a driveway and probably notice that the downspouts on the wrong side of the house
Right.
away without even studying it and trying to figure out where the water's going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He can see, you know, from
rock.
flower beds being washed out, stains on the foundations. You know, if there's an inside miter and there's no backsplash. Look at the ground. Is the mulch washed away?
Yeah.
You know, those are things that he's noticed over the years to be able to tell a homeowner and to be able to educate a homeowner. You know, we're gonna have to add a diverter here. We're gonna have to put a backsplash there.
Right.
You need to add an extension to your downspout to get it 6 feet away from your house. Don't just let it drain, you know, right next to the foundation.
Yeah.
You know, those are all things over the years of, you know, Colin has learned, you know, and has been taught the right way. And then, you know, any type of new technology that comes out, you know, 5 inches versus a 6-inch gutter. The new gutter guards that we're using now, we have what's called a micro mesh, Gutter Extreme. You know what I mean? It's the hottest thing. If anyone's been home for any amount of time through this whole pandemic, they've had to have seen micro mesh gutter guards that's on TV right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have it now. We have another one's called New Wave. And both are great. 20-year warranties on both. But one might be better for a certain situation than another situation. Like one wouldn't work so well if you have pine needles. The other one might not work so well if you have, I don't want to say a lot of trees, because then what would be the whole point of having gutter guards? But I can't think of a reason off the top of my head, but I'd have to have them both in front of me right now. But they're both really good products. The important thing is that they both are aluminum. The micro mesh actually has an aluminum body, and the mesh is surgical steel, so it won't rust. 20-year
Nice.
warranty on it. The New Wave is actually aluminum, and both have a 20-year warranty.
Yeah, and they clip in really nice to your gutter.
Oh yeah, man,
They're
and
made
the
to fit.
rigidity and how much more stronger they
Yeah.
make your gutter system.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because some gutter guards that you put on require you to put screws through them and actually mechanically fasten them to your gutter.
Right.
They can be an eyesore sometimes
exactly.
if you're using some cheaper ones. But these ones are nice. They're sleek.
Yeah,
They'll
man.
clip. They're made
Right.
to fit. Depending on the size gutter that you go with, whether it's a 5K or a 6K, you have both sizes.
Right.
They'll clip right in.
Yep.
So
Good stuff.
yeah,
And they come in multiple colors. Not 13 different colors like gutters, but you got like a white, a milled finish, and like a bronze color.
right.
Most times you're not going to see it anyhow from maybe your window out your bedroom to the first floor roof, but I mean at that point in time, do you really care what color your gutter guard is?
Right. I think most people go with the mill finish.
I do too. Yeah, or white.
Lauren's gonna get those purple shingles for you, Jocelyn.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice. Good to
Might know
see
where
everybody.
stash of 'em.
Oh, thanks, guys, for going in on the donuts always. Thank
man.
you.
Yeah, man.
I
My pleasure.
appreciate it. You
Yeah.
guys do an awesome job. We appreciate you so
Yeah.
much going in on the donuts. It's
Yeah,
a
man.
blessing to be able to give them out.
Yeah, we
And
appreciate you doing that.
we
We take
appreciate
time
it.
out of your day doing
Yeah.
that, so that's awesome.
We
Yeah,
really
We're
do.
I
proud of it.
appreciate you stimulating the economy.
Thank you for helping me with that, and they
Yeah.
appreciate it a lot. They love it.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. It's an amazing operation now
It
that we
is.
have going with our community.
Absolutely.
We have taken the outside world and kept it outside, and we're making the inside the 717
That's
with
right.
an insulation of just having each other's back, helping each other along the way. You know what I mean? It's tough. And to all the entrepreneurs out there and people that are working for businesses, man, everyone has a role to play. And unless you're on work release, you pick your role. You know what I mean? So if you do a role, man, do the best job at it, because we all need to come together as Americans and the world, but we need to do our part here in the USA
Yeah.
of just lifting up our spirits, lifting up our companies, lifting up our blocks, lifting up our towns. Like, man, it's easy to put people down. There's no sense in wasting time on things that you're not for. So find the things you're for, find the companies you're for, and go for that.
Yeah.
Because we need you, and we appreciate your help, everyone.
Absolutely.
So, God bless y'all.
Yeah, man.
Someone's looking for a job. Someone's looking for a career. TC Backers looking for the people that are looking for
And that was
careers.
that little lifted shingle I was talking
So,
about.
how'd you come upon that? I mean, you just saw
That
it.
you'll probably be able to see from the ground.
And is that a nail pop up?
No, that was actually the wind blew that up.
Wow.
But that's a good question. That's a good question.
Because it could be either.
That could
How would
potentially
a nail pop up? That's what I don't understand. How does it just pop up?
Well,
expansion and contraction. If
Yeah.
if when they're putting the roof on, let's just say maybe they weren't running their compressor
Mm-hmm.
with enough psi. Maybe
Oh,
they
so
had
it didn't sink all the way.
yeah maybe
Wow.
they hit a hard spot in the plywood, or they hit a nail from the framers, or there's so many different possibilities.
Okay.
The biggest one I feel like is probably expansion and contraction. If you have poor ventilation inside your attic, that's another key player in it.
Yeah.
But it happens. So if you see a nail pop on your roof, you don't want to necessarily say my roof is installed wrong.
Right.
Some of the best roofers out there on this earth are still going to get some nail pops. I mean, you figure, the average roofer, I'd estimate probably puts 10,000 nails in a week.
Right. Yeah.
One or two of them nails popping,
Yeah.
it's going to happen. It's going to
Absolutely.
happen.
I
Especially
can
if you got multiple guys up there running off the same compressor, it happens.
Yeah.
I didn't
But
even think about
identifying the
something
issue-
like that. That's crazy.
Identifying the issue, looking from the ground, right away. I'm sure you'd agree with me. That would either be a blown up shingle from the wind or a nail pop.
Yeah.
Is probably what
That
would
was
be.
actually a blown up shingle, and there was probably a 10 by 10 area that was all pulled through the nails. And
Wow.
see, that's the thing. You, as a homeowner, you look up at your roof and you
Yeah.
just, it's just lifted up.
Yeah.
And it might be like that for a year or two, and you just, every night you come home and you see that one little shingle like that. Well, all it takes is like an afternoon like today, where that whole 10 by 10 area that you didn't even see, but you saw that little piece, but that whole 10 by 10 area around that, well, when you came home from work this afternoon and that whole, now it's a 20 by 20 section that is blown off because it's like a domino effect. Because all the shingles are glued together
Yeah.
now. Do you know what I mean? But now you got this 10 by 10 section doing this in the wind
Wow.
when you're home, or when you're at work all day.
Right.
And you came home, now that 10 by 10 section plus another 10 by 10 section is lifted off with it.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so when you see something like that, you should definitely get your roof inspected. And it could be just as simple as that one tab needs replaced, which we wouldn't just replace the tab, we would replace the whole shingle.
Sure.
You know, and if that's all it is, great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you may be that person that's got that 10 by 10 section on your roof.
It happens.
I have a video from about 3 months ago that I went live, and I went up there and there was like one shingle tab, and I was like, and you can see me in the video, I was lifting it up and it was like, oh wow.
Yeah.
And it just lifted up the whole section.
Wow.
Yeah, it is amazing.
Yeah,
You know, and
that's
from the ground.
crazy.
So,
You have
and
no
what was
idea.
great is the homeowner inside was actually watching my Facebook video live.
Nice.
Yeah, so she knew I wasn't pulling her chain that, hey,
Yeah.
I think you need a new roof. Like, this is beyond repair.
Yeah.
Wow.
Caps were blown off. There was 3 sections that were, that were pulled up, that were probably 6 by 6 areas, and she called her insurance company. They asked me to give them a price. I gave them a price. They paid it in full. Yeah, that easy. It took,
So if you
it
had a
took
roof
like
that
2
was
days.
10 years old, did you have the old tar paper? Do you have that new stuff that you have?
There was
coming?
definitely organic felt paper underneath it.
And so that breaks down over time compared to the new stuff, right?
Yes.
With the new technologies.
Right. And see, and that's the benefit with synthetic felt paper compared to organic felt paper. Let's say they came home and that 10 by 10 section was missing. They wouldn't have had to worry about a roof leak because of the synthetic felt paper.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Not only that, it's safer for our guys when they're installing
Right.
because you
Easier to walk on.
you get more traction.
Right, the tar paper seems like it gets crumbly and loses its integrity or something. I don't know what it's
it'll
called, but
rip,
it seems like
it tears. The staples don't hold up, and
gets
you don't get as
brittle
much.
over time.
Yes, it
seems
dry
like.
rods.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I've
Yeah.
seen people going up, and I'm like, wow, look at that, and
Mhm.
it just becomes like crisp paper.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it
I
breaks.
wish that they would just do away with all felt paper and just go all synthetic,
Yeah.
ice and water across
Right.
the board.
Yeah.
I hate walking on felt paper.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Me too.
I don't usually
Especially
get
when it's
uneasy on
wet.
a roof, man.
Right.
But
Especially
walking
when it's
on
wet.
felt paper that someone else installed, not myself, man, it makes
It's
me
scary.
nervous. Makes
Yeah,
me nervous.
most definitely. Most definitely.
So what do we got here?
So that's
Look like
granule
anything.
That's
loss.
granule loss.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's
Wow.
from a hailstorm.
how can you tell they're more black area?
Yes,
Mhm.
that's actually a white shingle,
Oh,
and those black areas are where your granules are missing. So all those granules are either in their gutter or on the ground where the outlet or the downspout discharge.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's why I wanted to say, if anyone sees like a whole pile of granules at the bottom of their downspout, they should probably get someone out there to take a look at their roof.
Yeah. Or while you're cleaning out your gutters, if you see it in the bottom of your gutters,
Yes,
get someone out to take a look at it.
yes.
how often should you clean your gutters? Twice a year or more?
Probably twice a year.
At least twice a year, like the spring and fall.
That's what we do. We have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're scared to get on a ladder or get on your roof, we clean gutters too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
To answer your question, Jim, I've seen you ask that question earlier, buddy. I wasn't ignoring you. I was just waiting for the right time to throw that in there. Colin Cross, by the way, that's right. Actually, out in Marietta for Jeff Inch, the gutter guys either Friday or Monday are going to be hanging a one-piece, 187-foot
Yeah.
piece of
Tomorrow
seamless
afternoon.
6-inch gutter.
Yeah, tomorrow afternoon, 187-foot piece of gutter. 2 of them, I think, not just one.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 of
That's
them.
big.
Was it a
6'6".
barn or something?
That's over half of a football field.
Yeah,
Wow.
One piece. It's
That's-
impressive.
yeah.
Hi,
We did the
Shirley.
roof end siding on that building.
Huh?
We did the roof end siding
Wow.
also on that building.
That's
Yeah, it's a big
amazing.
one.
Yeah, there's multiple buildings out there.
50 foot in the air. That's right. We have to
50
add
foot
that in
high.
there. 50
Yeah.
foot high.
Yeah,
So that's going to be interesting. That's going to be one of the more challenging things I think the gutter guys have done. I know Colin's been excited to get his hands wet on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, 50 feet in the air, 187
Yeah.
seamless gutter.
Yeah, it's not very often that you get that. At least for Colin, I can say it's not very often that you put him on a gutter job and get him to scratch his head.
Mm-hmm.
But this was definitely a head scratcher, and I have full faith that they're going to figure it out and it's going to look bomb.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow. Have fun with that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
His personal record, 140 feet.
Wow.
another 47 foot, man. 47
Yeah.
foot. That's a lot of gutter.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Just 47 foot.
That's
is
more than a
big, man.
two-guy operation.
Yeah,
We're
that's
gonna
like a
get-
6 to 8 guy
Yeah,
operation.
that's gonna have
Put
to
that
be all man on deck.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just to make sure
With
that.
Jacob, he said 140 feet with Jacob.
up. Yep.
So what do we have here?
Here's some hail damage.
Yep, some hail damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
This
So-
is a big one here, man. Hail damage is big with roof replacements
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah, and these are things you can't see from the ground.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, how could you ever see
So
that?
if you get so many of these circles, see, this is from an insurance company. If they get so many of those circles within a 10 by 10 section, that'll qualify you for a roof. I don't want to say a free roof because nothing's really for free. A lot of people have a deductible.
Yeah.
So the cost of your deductible will get you a roof if you
Yeah.
have so many of these spots.
I mean,
within a 10 by 10.
$500 versus $10,000.
Right.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
a
we're at
no-brainer.
1,000 because ours is 1,000.
Yeah.
So
Right.
yeah,
Which,
wow.
which is
no-brainer,
still
right?
worth it. I mean,
Oh,
your
100%.
roof is probably a $7,500 roof.
Yeah.
You know, would you want to pay that or $1,000 deductible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Anything that you can buy on this earth that you can only spend $500 on and it's going to last you 20, 30, 40 years,
Right.
that's a good investment.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
with new
That's a good
technology,
investment.
you know, and you working with the right company.
Right.
Yeah.
And you increase the property value too. Like a roof like this has probably a 15 or a 25-year 3-time shingle.
Mhm.
You know, most people aren't going to reinstall those kinds of shingles. One, because of the wind rating, the technology of the new shingles that are out now. You know, and if the insurance company is going to pay $6,500 of my $7,500
Sure.
roof, why won't I get an upgraded shingle?
Yeah.
That with a lifetime warranty, unlimited wind rating. That means all those blown off shingles that you just saw aren't going to happen anymore.
Right.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And if they do find a way to blow off, GAF is going to pay for the materials and the labor
Yep.
to get that reinstalled.
That's
So you don't have to
awesome.
pay
It is
anything out of
awesome.
pocket.
And
Yeah.
they start to seal within 2.4 hours above 40 degrees, GAF shingles. 2.4 hours. And I witnessed it.
It must be
That's
5
impressive,
minutes
man.
this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure.
I mean,
And-
so how do you
and
guys
it's
work
above
on these
40
hot
degrees.
roofs?
Yeah.
I mean,
Hit it
it's so
early.
hot on the ground. I mean, I'm a
Hit it
runner. I'm
early.
running in 96-degree weather.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about y'all because it's brutal. You saw today I did it early.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, man,
I
hats
don't
off.
blame you. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not only just dangerous for the guys sometimes, especially with these
Oh, with this extreme
protocols
heat.
with the face masks and everything. But you can actually damage your shingles walking on them when it's too hot.
Yeah.
Because
You know,
now
those,
you're...
those things get soft.
Gooey.
They're
It's
made
like
out
when,
of
when
tar.
they first pave a road, they don't want you
Yeah,
like
yeah.
driving.
So you'll
Yes.
notice sometimes, and I see this a lot on my end in the new construction. We'll put a brand new roof on, and I'll go out to that thing for the closing inspection, and you can see footpaths up the roof from either gutter guys or siding guys walking on that
Masons, brick
roof.
masons.
It'll wear the granules off because as you're getting traction going up these steep roofs,
Mm-hmm.
it's basically just deforming the shingle because they're
Is
so
there a
soft.
right way to walk on a roof to protect it?
I mean, not really. You want to have a flat foot, but
Couch
when
cushion.
it gets above 90, 95, when you're in the 95s,
Don't go
100s,
up.
you afternoon, I'd say you probably don't want to be walking on your roof.
Yeah.
You're going to physically be able to feel the shingles being manipulated
Yeah,
under your feet. You
absolutely.
can feel it if
Yeah.
you know what
Wow.
you're doing and you know what you're looking for. You'll feel it.
Yeah.
Our guys know when it's time to get off the roof.
Yeah, for sure. We've
Before
been
you're,
experiencing a lot of that here in the past
yeah,
2
man,
weeks.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
That was our that
what
was our
else you
last
guys
picture
want
there.
to? We appreciate it. Thank you, everyone.
Just touch again real quick on
Yeah.
we're hiring. We're looking for service guys. If you have roofing, siding, gutter, window experience, valid driver's license, and a good work ethic, please reach out to us. We're hiring salespeople, and we are maybe possibly still looking for an estimator.
Yeah. Maybe.
Listen, like I tell everyone, if you ever watch this and share this, like I always believe I'm your replacement. Like that's my belief.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want it, keep calling them. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all I can tell you. There's always room for greatness.
Yeah.
There's never not room for greatness. So, you know, and if you are a sales professional, no one, I shouldn't have to tell you that. Like, you know, unless you're new in it, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Think about that saying. It's true. Whether you're a customer, you're going to get service if you call. If you are in sales, you know, there's a certain formula to it. You know, we'll have to figure it out.
Absolutely.
But listen, you want to be persistent. So if you're a roofer, a sider, a gutterman, you install windows and doors and you love the profession, but you just didn't find the right place to call a career, check out TC Becker Construction.
Yes,
Yes.
please do. Please
Yeah,
do.
check us out.
What else you guys want to touch? We're going to get out of here in a few.
Next week, who you gonna have on replacing me next week, man?
I have 2 options.
Yeah,
They got to come. It's a secret, huh?
Yeah.
they're gonna have to bring their A game, man.
Yeah, they're going to have to, well, hopefully. And who knows where we'll be. You never know where we're going to end up either.
Right.
We could be poolside, we could be lakeside, we could,
You guys
We
can
could
drive
be-
down to North Carolina. We could do one on the beach.
yeah, man, you
So-
never know. Hell, we might be in Delaware. Who knows? We might be in Marietta tomorrow watching a 186-foot piece of gutter get
Hey.
ran out. You know what I mean? You never know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Next week, Wednesday, 7 o'clock, episode 31.
that's right. Special
31
guest.
already.
Yeah.
Special guest.
Yep.
We appreciate y'all.
Thank you
sharing
everyone
this.
for tuning in. Please share, like the page, hit the bell for notifications.
Start a watch party.
Yeah.
Everyone finish your week strong. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Dan Barker, thanks for tuning in, buddy.
Yeah, brother.
See everyone next week.
Yep. Thanks, Kim.
Yep.
You're going to be remote, aren't you? Or no?
Love you.
You going to chime in?
What's up?
Are you going to be remote next week?
I'm not sure. I'm
Okay.
not sure. We'll see.
No stress.
See what happens.
Love you.
See you guys.
See you guys.